Welcome back, all you beautiful people, and we've reached the end game now. It's harvest time. Yes, time to pick some leaves, and this is where the bulk of the work happens. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Now there's a few leaves that are touching the ground, and they kind of turn into brown mulch pretty quickly, so I'm just going to get rid of them. And then any of the large leaves, like this one right here, it's getting kind of yellowish and the tip is getting kind of dried out, so I'm just going to pick all the leaves that look like that one. You can see that one over there. It's got a nice yellowish look to him. Yes, we'll definitely pick that one. So I'm going to go through the lot and show you my workstation where the next stage takes place. Snaps off like celery. Give the leaves a bit of a rinse off. A lot of them are covered with a little bit of dirt on them. Now this is taking a while, so while I'm doing this, I'm going to show you guys one of the flower heads. Yes. So let's cut to the flower footage while I carry on rinsing off my leaves. Alright, now this is interesting. I've just taken the bag off of this flower head of the Havana 142 just to see what's going on inside. I will keep the others bagged up. I don't want any cross-pollination. But I was just wanting to see if any pods are forming, and they definitely are. Look at that. All of these are pods that are forming. So that means self-pollination is happening very nicely inside the bag. You can see all the pollen that's fallen down on the leaves below. And that is a humongous flower cluster. It was pressing very hard against the side of the bag. That's why I was worried that the pods weren't forming. I wasn't sure what's going on inside. Can't really see so clearly through these bags. But that is good. That is what I was hoping for. And it's doing it very nicely. So I'm going to have a lot of seeds from this plant. A lot of seeds indeed. Alright, now I'll put the bag back on. That pollen is not going to affect anything else because everything else is bagged up, so we are still safe. No cross-pollination will occur. So I'm going to go ahead and put this bag back on again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I've done the first priming, so the leaves ripen from the bottom of the plant upwards. So we obviously pick from the bottom upwards. And I've got my workstation marked out with the types of plants in each section where they will be color cured. So color curing is the very first stage. I've got lots of Havana leaves. I've got more Havana plants than anything else. And now here is an example of a leaf that has cured on the plant itself. Basically it was one of the very lowest leaves, and it was sheltered by some leaves above, which kept it moist enough that it went through the color change all by itself without drying out too bad. So this is the color that we'll end up getting. Now let me explain the process to you quickly. So you pick a leaf. Okay, this one's starting to change on the tip already. The tip is touching the ground. A green leaf is still alive. Now you want the leaf to die a very, very, very slow death so that the enzymes in the leaf can break down the chlorophyll and turn the whole leaf into a lovely, graceful brown color. So when it reaches this stage, you can see there's still a bit of moisture left in the main stem. Then these ones will have to go in the kiln for fermenting. So fermenting is the final process where the enzymes break down all those nasty compounds that we don't want. It sheds quite a lot of the excess nicotine that we don't want, and you end up with the lovely, flavorful compounds that you want in a good smoke. And so this step is the first one, getting them to change from green to brown. Now, if you live in a very humid area, In South Africa, the humid areas are up north, the areas with summer rainfall. So you're looking at sort of KZN, KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, those areas. You might have enough humidity if your humidity range is somewhere between 60, 70, 80 most of the time. You can get away with hanging up your leaves from wires or from string or whatever up in your attic or in a spare room, and they will change while they're hanging. They'll change color. I can't take that risk. The humidity here is too low. We are on the edge of the Little Karoo Desert. It's a semi-desert area, so it's too dry. I tried it the first time when I did my first grow back in 2016. I made myself a little tent out of black plastic, and I had buckets of water with towels dipped in to sort of wick as much humidity into the atmosphere as possible, and it failed spectacularly. I think the whole system just kept leaking humidity and it was just too dry. And so I had a whole bunch of leaves that just flash dried green. So they were green and dry and crispy and ultimately useless. I had to throw them all away. So I can't take that chance. I'm not gonna take that chance. Piling up in little piles is the only way I can do that. So I'm gonna just dry these leaves off. I've been rinsing all the dirt off them, so they're nice and clean now, but some of them are still a bit wet, so I'm just going to dry them as much as I can, and then I'm going to stick them under some black plastic, just cover them up loosely and let the heat build up between the leaves, and yeah, let the enzymes get to work so they can change from this green color, here's another example, Creole 98, to a lovely brown color. This is not a great example, this is one of the very lowest leaves that was sort of hanging in the dirt, but just to give you an example of the color change that takes place. Okay. Alright, all the leaves are piled up under plastic, like so. Warning. Don't say I didn't warn you. Alright, so every day before I go to work, I have to get up a little bit earlier, and I'm gonna just check each pile of leaves, mop away any excessive moisture and any signs of mold. You have to get rid of it pretty quickly. If these piles get a bit too wet, I might put some sheets of newspaper between some of them. But yeah, it's something that you have to manage on the go. So every day, it's going to be a daily chore in the mornings and in the evenings, just to check each pile. Once you've done your mopping, you can reshuffle the leaves so that the bottom ones end up in the middle and the top ones end up at the bottom, etc, etc. Just give them a good shuffle to change your position in the piles. So, quick recap, these are the bottom leaves of the plant. They have the least amount of flavor, but they are very good for combustion. So, it's always good to have one or two of these leaves in your blend just to make sure the cigar burns nicely, burns nice and evenly. And if you make a cigar completely out of these bottom leaves, you'll end up with a very mild, not much in the way of flavor cigar. But if you combine it with some leaves from higher up in the plant, then you end up with a blend where you have good combustion and some flavor coming through. So that's what blending is all about. You take different leaves from different parts of the plant to create your final creation, and it takes a lot of playing around to find a blend that really works for you. So there we go. This is the curing stage. I will keep you guys updated. So thanks for watching. I hope this was interesting. Yeah. Subscribe, give me a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheerio.